Today's consumer is becoming more and more concerned about where their food comes from and how their food is being produced. And they should be. Everyone wants to make sure that what their family is eating is safe and produced in a sustainable and humane way. My research focuses on one aspect of sustainability in the cattle industry. Gastrointestinal nematodes are parasitic roundworms that live in the digestive tract of mammals and can cause really severe disease in their host. In the cattle industry, the estimated cost of treating these nematodes and the cost of lost production is estimated to be about $2 billion annually in the United States. The purpose of my research is to determine the nematode burden and the nematode species present in dairy cows across Canada. Now, in order to determine how many parasites a cow has, you have to collect manure samples. This is because the adult nematodes will lay eggs in the digestive tract of the cow, which are then shed onto pasture when the cow defecates. The eggs then hatch and develop into larvae on pasture, and in a few weeks, these larvae crawl out onto the surrounding grass and are re-ingested by other cattle to complete their life cycle. So, by counting the number of worm eggs in the feces, we can actually estimate how many adult worms are in the animal. Needless to say, I don't have the most glamorous job. What I found, though, is that the most prevalent species in these cattle is actually the species that causes the worst disease. So there may be a nematode problem in Canadian dairy cattle. But what does collecting poop have to do with agricultural sustainability? What my research is doing is paving the way for future studies in drug resistance. We need to know what the nematode species are there and how many are there so that we can produce more sustainable and more effective deworming protocols. Then we can slow the spread of resistance of these worms to the drugs we use to treat them, and thereby decreasing the amount of deworming drugs we have to use to control these worms. This, in turn, is going to improve cattle health and productivity and animal welfare, and that's something we can all get behind. As a scientist in livestock production, I want to be an advocate for agriculture and ensure that the lines of communication are open between producers and consumers. This way, we can all contribute to sustainable and safe food production in Canada.